Good afternoon. My name is James Ahearn. This is my Week 7 video presentation for Advanced Fire Administration. We'll be discussing the Washington Fire Department and some allegations that they had concerning NFPA 1710, HAZWOPER, and transparency. I'll start. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming today. My name is James Ahearn. I'm the Deputy Chief with the Washington Fire Department. I'm here today to discuss some allegations we made concerning our operational planning, training, and response policies after the train derailment last week. Please hold any questions to the end of the briefing. I'll have plenty of time to answer questions. All right. Starting with our adherence to NFPA standards, it was brought up that the Washington Fire Department does not adhere to NFPA 1710, specifically the standard for a minimum of 4 firefighters to be on a first due engine. Well, let me break this down. The 4 firefighter minimum is based on a single engine response, 1 firefighter to establish a water supply, 1 firefighter to operate the pump, and an officer and 1 firefighter to enter the structure of the hot zone to perform life safety operations. We run with 2 firefighters on a truck in Washington. Many times this is counterproductive. The need for more firefighters and advanced training becomes more transparent at large-scale events such as the train derailment. We have filed for grants. We have talked with the administration in the city and town, and we are working towards this. We have been unsuccessful to attain a grant yet. While we are working toward NFPA's recommendation of staffing 4 or more in an engine and 5 on a ladder, we do have to work within our budget constraints. Having an incident like this occur and the hazmat calls that we have seen over the past year show that at a minimum we should have at least a specific hazmat response vehicle with operational or technician level first responders assigned. This could help close the gap until we can establish funding for more staffing on all of our trucks. Next, it was also brought up that the Washington Fire Department does not comply with HAZWOPER training requirements and the personnel entered a hot zone without proper training. I assure you that we are working towards compliance with OSHA and HAZWOPER. I have discussed this with the State Fire Academy, and all firefighters will now be firefighter 1 and 2 certified before they are assigned to a truck. The HAZWOPER operational certification is included in the state's training to earn your firefighter 2 level certificate. The train derailment was brought up concerning the entrance into a hot zone was coordinated and necessary. Our priorities in the fire service are simple: life safety, incident stabilization, and property conservation in that order, or preferably simultaneously. If at all possible, the incident should go smoothly by conducting all of those at the same time. Unfortunately, the incident involved a train derailment with a chemical release that impacted a nursing home. It was necessary to perform diking and damming to protect exposures, meaning the most important exposures, the 120 occupants at the nursing home. With only 2 on a truck, it was impossible to perform multiple functions at the same time. There wasn't the staffing. In fact, the positive, there have been no reported injuries or exposures from any of the firefighters on the department from the incident in question. All contaminated gear was disposed of or cleaned using a gear-specific extractor. The state hazmat team was called to the scene to help coordinate cleanup activities and ensure that all parties involved were properly cared for and the gear and equipment were decontaminated properly or discarded. As a reminder, as a firefighter, there is an inherent risk in our profession every time we get an alarm. Whether it be a fire, car accident, medical emergency, or hazmat incident, there is a chance for us to be injured or worse. This is why we have mandated training 6 days a week in Washington and train twice each shift for personnel that have less than 1 year on the job. We promote further education through monetary incentives, though small, and paid time off for credits earned. We strive for an educated and professional department, although funding sometimes does not allow it. Last, The question of transparency in the fire department was brought up. This is difficult for me to understand, consider that we follow a strict set of policies and adhere to a set of updated SOGs. As municipal employees, all of our records, including training, salaries, and even emails, are open to the public for view. We have routine open houses for the public to visit, and we work hand in hand with both the mayor and several other municipal departments. We have dedicated fire prevention personnel that are in our schools, teaching fire safety in classes daily. I would ask that in the future, questions be asked first rather than accusations made without evidence. This will help us better educate the public and our stakeholders on the department. I look forward to discussing any questions that are brought up and to work hand in hand to improve our services to our community. Thank you for listening. Questions?